Call by Seattle asks, in your opinion, what would be the defining line between someone with Asperger's and someone without? I have all the symptoms of Asperger's, similar to what you described yours to be like, but my therapist doesn't. Sorry, my therapist doesn't think I have it. He also didn't know what Asperger's was until I told him. Yeah, okay, can stop you right there. Just get a new shrink. End of story. So you're gonna finish reading though. Do you have anxiety issues? What medications do you take? Do you like open world games like Fallout or Elder Scrolls? Can I have your Xbox gamer tag in a PM? The defining line between someone with Asperger's and someone without. Also a vague question, because there is a difference physically in their brain that you can, in the future, I'm 100% sure that you can measure it somehow. There's something off on Aspies or normal people. Something is off in a different way. They're not normal because all their brains are perfect, because that's bullshit. They all have malfunctioning brains. They just don't have our form of malfunction. It's a tricky question. Like, I always make analogies when it comes to that. Like, oh, Aspies. The difference between Aspies and normal people is that where a normal person might see a color, the Asperger's person might not see anything because he's too busy thinking about what's it's painted on. I just made it up. I don't know if that actually made sense, but I can't actually say any like defining difference and a practical difference, because that would make me able to know what Asperger's is. You know, all Aspies are different. That's the problem with Asperger's and the diagnosis of Asperger's. If you have all the symptoms of Asperger's, it's like, I guess you don't have to have Asperger's. You can just have the symptoms. You can just be a person who just happened to be that kind of person. But still. Well, if you have all of the symptoms of a disease, you might as well say that you have the disease, now that I think about it. I guess. No, not really. Well, yeah. Okay, yes, this question, I pass on this question, okay? Your therapist, though, he needs to be exchanged, because if he doesn't know what Asperger's is, he has no right to say anything about it unless he did an awful lot of reading and talked to an awful lot of Aspies before he continued your sessions, because it is a complicated matter. Anxiety issues we've covered in a previous video. Kind of mean to just shove you over to those videos. What if you haven't seen them? Well, I have some anxiety issues. Ended at that. What medications do you take? I don't take any medications for Asperger's, because there is none, and if people say that there is, then they're wrong. It's like, it doesn't have anything to do with your medical intake or your diet intake. Some things can numb you in ways that will make you more normal. That doesn't stop at Asperger's, so that's stupid. I do take sleeping pills, though, because I have insomnia, which may or may not be because of Asperger's. I'm not sure. I think too much when I go to bed. Do you like open world games like Fallout or Elder Scrolls? No, I played the new Fallout. I played Oblivion and so on. Does World of Warcraft, does that count as an open world? I guess it does. I guess Diablo also technically counts as open world-ish. And not really. Well, whatever. I don't like it when you get to a certain point in a game and you suddenly can go left or right, because that gives me a choice, and I always want to pick the correct choice. the real problem with open world games is that eventually you open a big door and you can go anywhere. And I don't know where to go. Like, should I go to the nearest town? Is that optimal? Should I go exploring before that so I have levels? Is that optimal? Should I just ignore anything I see and just go on a quest and like I want to do the optimal thing. In Final Fantasy games, for example, when you know, there's always a point where you get the airship and you can actually fly anywhere you want instead of just always having to go the same path. Oh, there's a boat here, we have to take it because we're being chased or something. And, oh, there's a town there, we have to go there because we need food. Then you get the airship. And when I get the airship, I almost always stop playing the game for a while and have to actually try to get into it again because I don't want that liberty. I know that's weird, right? However, I do like those games, but they do make me wary. It's kind of like, oh, I like scary games, but I get scared easily, I guess. And no, you can't have my Xbox gamer tag in a PM because I don't remember it and I don't actually use it that often, and I actually don't play with other people. I play alone. People keep adding me and asking me, and I don't play with other people. Some guy, I don't remember his name right now, added me, and I haven't talked to him since, even though he sent me comments on Xbox like every day. Like, hey, are you in line? Hey, do you want to play something? Hey, and I didn't respond a single time, because I just don't like playing with other people unless they're in my sofa. However, if you just search for AdKit, or I don't think AdKit 2 is correct, but maybe just AdKit or AdKit 2, you can probably find my Xbox gamer tag. Add me, I guess. I'm not gonna play with you, but there you go. And this video is really long, but there's a follow-up by Anime Eyes. Is that like anime eyes? Kind of funny, actually. Depending on where you are, therapists can be extremely ignorant about diagnosing Asperger's. Even when they claim to know about Asperger's, they often don't really get it. Me and my son both have it, but it manifests differently for us. There are no competent therapists in my area. Stop using such long words, I'm not good at this. My son's therapist said she didn't think he had it, and after a year and a half of useless and expensive appointments, because he's too friendly, which is bullshit. Being nice does not exclude a diagnosis. I've heard that several times from people telling me that their shrink said that they can't have Asperger's because they have friends or they have a relationship. That person shouldn't be allowed to be a psychiatrist because not only is he ignorant and misunderstanding what the little he has read, he's also lying to a person about a topic he doesn't know anything about. Yeah, get another shrink is all I can say, because if you have Asperger's, you can have a million friends. It has nothing to do with it. It might have to do with like how many of the friends you hang with at a time, like how much of them you enjoy hanging with. But so yeah, stuff like that. They just read something in a book, something like people with Asperger's don't like friends, and then they just went, oh, that's obviously true now because I read it in the book, and therefore this is a fact, and that's not a fact. It's stupid. Okay. Again, another rant. So yeah, I'm sorry. What was that? 2 questions. Yeah, whatever.